Hi, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the WAT podcast.
Yeah.
The fastest one that we've had so far in turnaround time.
Oh, turnaround time, yeah. Really good. I think you convinced me we should do another one because every time you'd be like, hey, listen, we should do a podcast. I have so many things to talk about, like this last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then like you'd be like, oh, and then you'd be like, no, I'll just save that for the podcast. Want to see your reaction. And now I was like, okay.
So, I guess we can start with the first thing. So, yesterday, this is actually, you might be a little bit proud of our progress.
All right.
One of our old podcasts,
Mm-hmm.
right, that we recorded during COVID,
Right.
was officially taken off of YouTube.
No, for like contents, like the things we said on it.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay. Did you listen to the podcast?
Yeah, I did. I even heard why it was taken off. So basically, I got a notification saying that your podcast has been officially taken off of YouTube because of like a content thing. So I clicked on it and I was like, okay, I want to appeal it because I don't think we've said anything horrible. And so the reason was because of misinformation.
Okay.
And I was like, hold up.
We're the most informed people on the planet. First of all,
what misinformation? Like, what's going on here? So I opened it, and then they give a timestamp of when you said what you said, and it was actually you. So it was one of our episodes during COVID, and we were talking about vaccinations and everything, like how important they are and stuff like that. And you posed a hypothetical question that if vaccines did cause autism, right, would you take my kid and get him vaccinated behind my back? And I said, definitely. So the fact that you said if vaccines cause autism, they flagged that shit and they were like, you're spreading misinformation. And then I appealed it and I was like, if you look at the context of what he's saying, he's asking a question on if they did, right? And or not like they do.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not outright claiming that they do. He's just saying if they did, would, like the hypothetical situation. And like 10 minutes later, I get the notification, your appeal has been rejected.
Oh my god. I am actually so proud right now. I'm so proud.
Got flagged. We got flagged.
You know
and
what?
We got taken down.
You know why I'm proud? It's because someone sat there and listened to our podcast. Like someone, like I imagine like some guy who's like us, super exhausted, just wanting like December to come, go on his holiday, and then like send this video his way, and then like listen to this, just let us know if we should flag it or not. So someone genuinely,
dude, it's like crazy because it was such an old podcast. Like let me tell you which one it was. That got flagged. Literally our third episode.
Oh wow, damn, that was
5 years ago.
honestly like there is like I remember like the first episode.
Yeah.
Like we said a lot of garbage. Like we said a lot of garbage that we thought would be funny. Like
But you know what? Our first episode is still like our most viewed.
Okay, yeah, but that's because we started.
Yeah.
And also like that one I honestly feel like was the worst one. You know why?
Because it had so many issues.
No, not even so many issues. I
Then?
think we've evolved into people who are able to make better jokes.
Yeah.
Like when we first started that joke, right? Like first started that podcast, we're like
We want to
saying,
beef with people.
yeah, not even foot people would be like our penis is small and our penis is big and would make stupid jokes like that because we're like that shit is funny.
Yeah.
But now we've moved into a direction where we can like and I think this is something that I've realized a lot, even when watching comedy shows, right?
Yeah.
Where people are like, oh, you have to like
Your
you
sense
can-
of humor has evolved.
yeah. No, but like even like when you watch comedy shows, there's always that theme, right? Like people are like censoring comedy to an extent where like you can't make jokes anymore.
Yeah.
But I absolutely disagree because you can make jokes, and I think we make a lot of jokes, but like they never are, and I think some of them are really funny, but like they're never to a point where they're offensive to anyone.
No, they're not.
So clearly you can be funny, and
you
I
can
think
be funny without like offending a lot of
yeah,
people.
and like there was a point where like I realized that, and like you were there as well, where I was like, can I actually use these podcasts to like as a portfolio for certain things I wanted to
Yeah,
do, because
yeah.
I was like, I want to see what other things might exist. I was like, I listen to our podcast now and we're like genuinely funny, like genuinely like radio funny, like you hear them on a radio,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
you have to create radio shows so that they're for everyone and like they don't offend anyone, but you still have to be funny, and I think
Yeah.
that's a quality we have. So I think I'm way more proud of like our more recent episodes.
Yeah.
But like I also get why they flagged it, because it was actually hot garbage. Like you listen to that and like I cannot believe the people around me were like, "Oh, this was good." I was like, "No, it really was."
Yeah, I mean, obviously, looking back on it right now, you're just like, okay, that was like
Yeah, but and I think that's the thing is like, when did we start? Like when we
5 years ago.
First year.
It's
of uni?
no,
Second year.
third year.
No.
Third year of uni.
Third year of uni?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I remember I was in my studio apartment at that time in the US,
Right.
and that was in our third year of university.
So I'm glad we've progressed more into it. Okay, you know what? I still give that, because we'd be 21 at that time, like 21, 22. We're still very stupid, and now we're like 26, and like I think we've become better. Like I don't think our podcast has gotten better because we still lack that structure and we just
Yeah.
do it for fun.
Yeah,
But I think as people who tell stories and are funny, we've
Yeah.
become better people.
yeah.
So I like going through a thing and being like, Jesus Christ, we actually had so much growth.
And I think also it's the fact that now we can actually just record in peace.
That's also true.
I remember before, it was like every week we had to have something.
Yeah.
Like we had to have something or the other,
Yeah.
and it was just a struggle. But now it's like, okay, whenever the hell we feel like doing it, we feel
Yeah.
like doing it.
And we just do, and we do it because it's just fun.
It's just fun, yeah.
And like
I remember back then we had like ambitions. We were like, oh my god, it's gonna grow so big. We're gonna get
Yeah.
fucking make money out of it and shit like that.
Yeah. And this is a thing I've asked you as well. Like I think if at some point we ditched podcasting and we just like moved to like video content or very short form content, I think we could have done well. And like obviously we can say like
We can still do that.
no, nobody's
like,
saying we
straight up,
can't.
yeah.
We and like we'll have that discussion. But I just
Yeah.
think like at this point, like I am trying to figure out a non-biased way to say this.
Just say it.
No, like,
full
I
bias, bro. Full bias.
I think like I match, or I try to match like the people that I watch that I find funny, where like they genuinely make like some kind of commentary that isn't like offensive, but it's just like, I think a very, very good podcast to listen to is Mr. Sunday Movies, where it's just again two guys who have like been friends for a while, and like they talk about comic book movies like specifically,
Sure.
and they're the funniest podcast. And then like on my Spotify Wrapped, I had like 13,000 minutes listening to them.
Oh
like,
my god.
yeah, because it's just a very, very good like funny dynamic, and like it's just worth checking out. So maybe we should transition to like short form content. Get on that TikTok money, man. Get some sponsorship. Go around, try it. You know what podcast we should have? What we should have is we just go to.
Let's not leak this.
All right,
stuff,
all right.
This is like ideas that should not go out there.
Ideas that should not go out. Okay. All right.
We can talk about it after the podcast. But anyways, yeah. So that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one episode has currently how many views? 35 views.
35 views. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
35
35 view
Can I tell you
podcast from
something?
5 years ago got taken down.
If they hadn't taken it down, that was our key to success. Like we could have made it if they hadn't taken that down. Like when I think about like a prospect, like someone coming onto our channel.
Actually, we can now go on YouTube and like those creators who are like at YouTube, like you fucking took down my episode, like I appealed it, I even gave a valid reason.
That's true.
And like you're just like
Okay, this
my
way.
livelihood is being wrong.
No, this is what we do. Okay, listen. I'm going to, when we finish this podcast, I'm going to take it like, I'm going to open my mouth like I'm screaming, and then you take a picture.
Yeah.
Then you make a big thumbnail being like, YouTube like takes down video, unfair. Like, how dare they? Quality content being censored by YouTube.
Yeah, you make those outlandish claims. And then like, all the big creators will come to help. They'll be like, how can I fucking like,
No,
which
but
YouTube manager can I talk to?
okay, I'm gonna propose an alternative, controversial route.
Sure.
You know how like which actress was it where like who was in Daredevil, Deadpool, like the really strong like wrestling woman, like
I
Gina,
don't know her
okay.
name.
But like it's Gina something, right? and she like
Oh, Gina Carano,
yeah, Gina Carano, and she
the
came
one who
on.
got cancelled.
Yeah, the one who got cancelled. But like
Yeah.
the way she thought about it, like obviously we're being cancelled first of all.
By
Okay?
YouTube.
We're being cancelled by YouTube. Let's just say that, okay? And like when the whole vaccine, she got for the same reason,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And she diverted her tactics where she's like, instead of trying to appeal to the liberals,
Yeah.
we try to appeal to the conservatives.
Ah.
And she got her own movie. Ben
Ah.
Shapiro sponsored her. So what we do
Double
is
down.
double down on it, and then we message Ben Shapiro being like, we're trying to spread this message and YouTube is censoring us. And Ben Shapiro invites us onto his podcast, and we just take an alternative route. It's controversial, it compromises the morals that we stand on. But I
We're
think
like inside double agents.
Inside double
we,
agents.
We become friends with Ben Shapiro, and we're like
yeah.
we just don't get it, man. Like, we're just getting censored, like left, right, and center. We didn't even say anything. Like, look at the context of the video clip,
Exactly,
like, you know.
yeah.
But we're just getting censored. They literally took out our podcast, like 5 years ago podcast. Like, who the fuck is going back 5 years ago on our channel
Yeah.
and looking like clearly they have some kind of agenda?
And you know, we can use that thing. You know how like these are the same people who like criticize, being like, man, they're digging up shit that people said like 10 years ago and then canceling us. That's like, that's the same thing they're doing to us, man. They're fucking canceling us because of something we said like 13 years ago, even though it's like wrong and it's like super, super horrible what we said, but they're canceling us, and we're like, just we appeal to them so hard.
Yeah.
And then at like some point, we make like a 180.
We just make a 180.
180, yeah.
We're like, yep, sorry, we were just
Yeah.
playing a character.
We're playing a character. When we said that women can naturally orgasm, that was a character.
Oh my god.
Because that's also another stance they have, right? Like Ben Shapiro and his
They
wife.
can't?
No, women.
They can.
No.
Women?
Ben Shapiro was like saying that, I think he said something
Mhm.
that kind of gave the indication he's never made his wife orgasm.
Ah, okay.
And so he like doubled down on that, and they created this narrative that like women can't naturally like.
Oh yeah. I've seen that.
Like
Like,
the whole-
I guess that's where the joke comes from. Like, this guy's like never slept with his wife.
Never
or
slept with
something.
his wife, and so like
And he
we
slept with his sister instead.
and so we double down on that. We just, I think we can sell it. Like, I think, and like the thing is maybe like.
Okay. Here's another money. I have another money making idea. Okay, this one I'm just gonna put it out there because it's so fucking stupid. I don't think anyone. will
Also,
take it.
we're not gonna go to Ben Shapiro. Please don't actually cancel us. That was a very hypothetical
Very
YouTube.
hypothetical.
YouTube. It was a what if. Don't fucking cancel me, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So, okay, we were watching. So there's this show on Indian television. It's on this Indian like streaming service. It's called Temptation Island.
I feel like I've seen that.
It's very new, but the premise of the show is basically couples who are like unsure of each other, yeah, go into this villa and they're split apart. So the girls go into a different villa and the guys go into different. And you know the part in Love Island where like the guys go separately and the girls go separately, or the girls stay in their original one and the guys go in like the love villa or whatever the fuck it's
Mhm.
called, and then they bring in like other singles.
Right.
Yeah. So this is what happens, right? So the couples are split apart. They're put into two different villas, right? And then in the guys' villa, single women come, and in the girls' villa, men come, and they're like supposed to make connections and stuff like that. And like at the end of every week or something, they have like this bonfire where all the people or the contestants are shown clips of what has happened in the other house, of like how their significant other is acting with single women or single men and stuff like that. But the thing is, it's an Indian show, right? So like the most amount of things that they can do is like make out.
Okay.
And they don't like really show like the spicy stuff. You know, like the point, I guess the appeal of dating shows is like you show the spicy shit, like whatever, done. I mean, they don't straight up show it, but like
Okay. So wait, but they do on this Temptation Island. They do show them making out.
I don't think they do. Like
Alright.
they maybe like a peck or something. But because the thing is, the site it's on is free to everybody as long as you have like a SIM card of
Right.
that company. Like, so it's on a streaming service that's free to everyone.
But you have to have the SIM card.
Yeah, but which almost like everybody does in India at that point. So the and obviously now, because it's like Indian people, they want to make sure that they're not going too far. They're trying to impress their parents, make sure like like the parents don't think like my child is gone,
Right.
and all that stuff. Fine. So this is my proposal. Okay.
I was waiting for this to turn to
Netflix India, or whichever Netflix. Okay, any Netflix, pick up this idea. You have this this show where it's like you have the Indian dudes, okay? And it's like the people who are trying to like make sure that their family's name is fine and everything, but you put them in the same house as really hot like Western women, okay, and singles, okay, and who are like really horny and are willing to do anything.
How does this tie into us getting cancelled? I don't
No, not
understand.
cancelled.
Okay,
I said money making.
Oh, this is just another money.
This is an idea that you pitch to like a studio and you tell them that this shit's gonna get you fucking like, bro, like a TV show like MILF Manor got like greenlit. Like, bro, ours can get greenlit in 2 seconds, man.
Okay, so what you're suggesting is like
you take like the most like simple Indian guys. Okay, who are like later in their 20s.
Okay.
And they're like horny.
I think
they don't want to do anything on TV.
This is what I'll this is okay. I'm gonna come from you so we don't get cancelled. Okay. And like this is how I would like to adjust your idea.
Sure.
Instead of being like Western woman, because like I feel like women can just be like horny in general.
No,
like
but no. I'm saying because the idea of like an Indian guy with a
I get what your idea
is like people don't find that often. I'm saying.
Okay, but like this is what we do. We just get simple Indian guys. Okay.
Sure.
And then we just pay a set of women to seduce them, and like we just see how that works.
Oh yeah.
Like that
works as well.
Yeah, we just get
but, like,
whatever.
The thing is, the women should not be Indian, in my opinion.
All right, that's fine.
Like here's the reasoning. I'm not trying to be racist. Like, bro, I'm Indian. Like, how the fuck? Okay, how does that work? But like, here's the thing. It's because, like, I feel like Western women have more freedom in terms of what they're willing to do.
Okay.
What they're like. They don't.
Okay, I see.
They don't. Like. It's not a big deal. Like if them having sex under the sheets is broadcast on network, like national TV.
So that's what I mean. It's like we like that's the thing. It's like okay, they like this is what I mean. I think the core idea is good, but I think like adding these barriers. Okay, this is what we just say. Like we're trying to seduce them. This is what will be broadcast. Okay, we like put it all out on the table, and we're like, this is what
as long as you're comfortable.
As long as you're comfortable with it, no matter like the race, the culture, the background.
Yeah.
You're comfortable with it. You'll get paid a lot of money. We'll make sure of that. Like.
And even the dudes, dudes usually get paid as well.
Yeah, and so we're like, this is just a goal and do it. And now like this is, and that's the simple idea. But like the thing is, then we also have to tell the dudes that potentially this could have like if you have sex.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
I mean, not like it's not gonna be shown.
No, I know, but like okay, I was gonna say like they would know. And like then they would become more reserved, but I think that makes the show more interesting because then it raises a challenge for the women to seduce.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, it all works.
And it's like if you do, there's a prize money for you. Like whoever manages to seduce a guy
first,
like whatever, not even first, but like period. You manage to seduce a guy. Period. Like So for example, you take 10 dudes and 10 women and you bring them together. Okay. Whoever gets seduced is out of the running. Is not out of the running, but is out of the show. Okay? The girl who does it gets paid.
Okay. Now
for actually accomplishing the task, and then the dude also gets paid because like whatever. Like you can't just be like, oh, you were for free on our show and we like kind of humiliated you or whatever the case.
But this is first of all like. Okay, I'm trying to make it so like we are as balanced as. I think what we do, okay, is we get a set of men and women, both simple, and then we do the same thing where we split them into villas, And then instead of bringing we just pitched the same idea again. You know the funniest
but
thing?
the thing is, ours is different.
Okay, yeah, we're not struggling really.
No,
it's single
not-
people.
Yeah, it's single people, and like even the people who come into the villa, like the
Yeah.
singles, even they're kind of reserved
Okay, yeah. So okay, we take
in that show.
the same. Okay, we do it where men go into a villa, women go into a villa,
Sure.
and then they're brought like hot individuals who are willing to consent and participate in this reality show,
Sure.
and then we just see what unfolds.
Yeah.
And then imagine
It should be like this. It should be like this. Okay, so each of them for coming onto the show, you get like $10,000. I'm just saying $10,000. Okay? If the girl manages to seduce the guy, right? Then the guy gets minus 5,000, and that 5,000 goes to the girl. And if the girl doesn't not manage to, then the guy gets plus 5,000 from the girl.
so you're raising the challenge.
You're raising the challenge more, and the stakes as well are a bit higher as well. Because that's what happens, right? Like in these shows, the only way to get like spicy content is like if the stakes are at the highest and there's like betrayal that's supposed to happen.
Okay. I have another pitch to this.
Okay, let's go,
And
let's
like
go. Let's go.
the other pitch that I have to this. First of all, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this audio, transcribe it, send it on an email to Netflix India. This is already
Any
decided.
Netflix, not
Any
Netflix.
Netflix, okay?
Netflix.
You send it to me. I'm gonna cold email all of them, being like, we have this pitch idea.
Yeah.
Please let us know if it works.
Yeah.
Okay. What we do, okay? So same kind of concept, right? Where like they eventually come together.
Because it's like you've seen like you heard of the show Too Hot to Handle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that where it's like if you mingle, minus money. But in here, it's like if the guy, or if one of them mingles, minus money, and if the person who's trying to doesn't get to, then minus money for them.
Yeah, but like this is now I'm gonna add like a social experiment kind of
sure.
thing, because we always like kind of say like, right, we always have this question, and like assuming we're bringing Indian people, and now like let's justify why like the reserved.
Okay, let's forget about Indian. Any like reserved person.
All
Like,
right, any reserved individual,
Yeah.
we're opening it.
who
And-
is like a mega virgin.
okay. I'm not gonna endorse that. I don't think that's the right way to refer to people.
Okay, not like who's
but I
just
get
a
I get
virgin,
like
yeah.
the image you're trying to
Yeah,
portray.
yeah.
Okay, but my point is,
I'm not like saying that that's how they're going to be categorized,
but like okay, this is why I'm going to pitch.
Bro, like MILF is an actual word they put on TV. Like, why can't we just put like virgin manner?
I honestly think that would kind of sell. Like, I think that would sell. Like, someone would be like, Virgin Manor? What the hell is this about?
It's a show about me.
Yeah.
You're
It's
telling
a
me
show
I
about
can-
us.
You're telling me I could go on a show and like I get
You know,
money
the
for
funniest thing is, like, we'd go to Netflix and we're pitching this and we're like, these guys know what they're talking about. They have the virgin energy in them. They're like, who better to come these ideas from than the mega virgins themselves?
Okay, but yeah, continue.
Now I'm going to pitch for why it should only be Indians.
Okay, sure.
Like why the reserve should be only Indians. Because we try to find out, like, I've always had this question, right? Where we say, like, the culture is so important. And, like, our families endorse it. Like, we should always go with our own culture. Now I want to see. So if they're given 2 weeks to be seduced by this woman, okay?
2 weeks is too short.
All right, fine. They're given 1 month to be seduced with
Yeah.
this person. And then what we do, okay, we have 6 episodes where they're being seduced.
Okay.
And then we have 6 episodes where now all of them are mingling. And we see that if the idea that like another reserved person from the same culture, same ideals, same beliefs has a greater influence on this person coming out than a hot person who is like paid to seduce them.
What do you mean?
Like I okay, let's say like I'm the mega virgin, okay? We've
Sure.
already established I am
Sure.
one, I'm on the show. There's a really hot person who's trying to seduce me, okay?
Yeah, so 6
And-
episodes of them trying to seduce
6
you.
episodes, and like at some point you put like that twist where I'm falling for them.
Okay.
But then you introduce me to like someone who matches me more.
Okay.
So like we've established that this is whoever it could be, right? But like
Right.
assuming
So same values and
same
everything,
values, like
whatever.
same culture, same like
Sure.
you relate to them more just because they're Indian. And that happens in every culture,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah.
because there's so many
the
things.
relatability.
Yeah,
is
the
there,
relatability, so many things, right? Like even the parents' dynamics. And we see if that like overrides this really hot person trying to seduce me.
Sure.
So we try to make
And
it
the
as
other person is not trying to seduce them.
and the other person not, they're just trying to make it through together. But we see if that like relatability and the fact that they're together.
How do
over
you raise the stakes on that now? Like, how do you raise the stakes for that person to come?
because then this hot person trying to seduce you has competition. How do you compete with someone?
And for that other person, you have this hot person who's probably trying to make them insecure.
Yeah, so like this is what I mean, like the whole convoluted like
It's like a love
interdynamic,
triangle,
yeah,
kind of.
interdynamic relationship. We'll figure out the specifics, but like this is the ideas that we pitch, and then we can like you see the thing is we add all these fancy words like social experiment and like stuff like that,
Raising the stakes.
and we'll be like this will like change the way we see like, and then obviously like for longevity,
Yeah.
we do it with all cultures. We start with Indians and then
Yeah.
we like keep moving to
Yeah,
all like cultures, and we see like, oh, does it match? And then we just keep selling and we do like 20 seasons where it's like just like India, and then
they literally have that. Like when Too Hot to Handle came out, now they have like Too Hot to Handle Brazil.
yeah.
They have like Too Hot to Handle this, like whatever.
So we just
like,
see
they have like Love Island USA. They have Love Island Australia. They have all those like
Exactly.
other like shows that are like regionally
Exactly.
exclusive.
So we just move and we make it work. That is my final pitch for this show.
Okay, done.
Done. We take this, we'll transcribe it, put it on Google. I'm so serious. I'm gonna pitch this. I'm sending this to Netflix. Like you send me like
Not even HBO, because they're the ones who did MILF Manor.
HBO did MILF Manor.
Yeah,
HBO.
HBO did
The
MILF
show
Manor.
that the
Yeah,
the thing that's known for like making one of like the greatest shows, like all those good shows.
HBO Max is I think HBO is the one who did MILF Manor, if I'm not wrong.
Damn, that's kind of crazy.
I could be wrong, but I think it was HBO.
I need to check.
Wait, let's see.
Damn. Okay, we have a very solid idea, and the thing
TLC,
is
sorry, TLC.
TLC. Yeah, I was like,
TLC.
it sounds like a TLC
I think
show.
TLC is the one that you should.
Yeah,
aim
TLC
for
is the
the
one we
most.
should aim for. Honestly, TLC and Netflix.
Yeah.
I feel like Netflix funds a lot of these like reality shows.
Yeah.
HBO, I don't think does that as much.
Yeah.
Like so, and maybe Hulu. Hulu has like this whole like adult oriented like theme to them. So
Okay.
send me this.
Hmm.
Just gonna cold email everyone on Monday, being like, we have an idea that will blow your mind. Virgin Island, pitched by virgins to you. 100%. All right.
Yeah.
Done.
Done.
All right,
Done.
perfect.
Done. Okay, so that's our next money making scheme.
Yeah.
Okay, we've pivoted
We've-
from podcast.
Yeah, we pivoted. We have two, like, in 6 months, we will either be hanging out with Ben Shapiro or we'll be, like, on Virgin Island
As the host.
as the host.
As the
Yeah.
host. We'll be
So,
like, welcome to Virgin.
so this could be potentially the last episode of the WAT podcast before we make it. Whoever has been here for all this time, we've had a good run. I'm glad you.
Break it.
Yeah,
it's a
I'm
make
glad.
it or break
I'm
it.
glad we've shared the success with you.
2024 is going to be a new start.
Yeah. Damn, I've had so many starts over the last 5 years.
Okay. Alright, it's
Um,
fine. I guess we can pivot out of that
Alright.
into a bit more like back to our roots.
We watched
We
Napoleon.
watched Napoleon.
Holy shit, that was a boring ass movie.
I mean, yeah, okay, so opening thoughts
Right.
were like I guess I was kind of excited to go watch the movie a
Mhm.
little bit because the trailers looked good. Yeah,
Okay.
they showed like most of the trailers were like war scenes and stuff like that, and like some like social interactions that were kind of intense because and then I was comparing it to Oppenheimer, where Oppenheimer obviously doesn't have the war scenes, but they have like the interactions which are very intense and like very tense throughout the entire movie, and it builds up, whatever. And yeah, so that was my initial, like that was my mindset going into the movie, and we watched it. It was 2.5 hours long, and my God, like it was probably the worst movie that I've seen this year. Like no joke.
Yeah.
And we watched some. Yeah.
No, we've watched some
We watched-
really like I think
I don't think we've watched some really bad movies. Yeah, I don't think that we've had like one movie where we walked out of the cinema and we were like, "What the fuck, bro?"
no, the thing is like I think even like the same way, like I would say from the first episode to now, we've
Yeah.
even evolved the way we watch movies.
Yeah.
I feel like we watch movies and we like
in a less cynical tone.
in a less cynical tone, but we also like appreciate like the value that it could bring, just apart from like this was a good movie. Sometimes it could just be a dumb movie that we enjoy,
Yeah.
but it made us like laugh and like sometimes put our heads in our hands and just be like, this was ridiculous.
Yeah, like okay, we watched Fast X
X.
this year, and like that was like a really stupid movie and like really dumb.
Yeah.
But like I genuinely had fun because like
Yeah.
there was some crazy shit that was happening, and you were like, "What the fuck is going
Yeah.
on?" And after that, you were like, "You know what?" Like, as dumb as like the kid flying from one car to the other was, that was fun as fuck.
Yeah, and like that's what I think is like we try to see what value a movie brings out, but this one I think just like okay, so I compared it to Oppenheimer as well. I hadn't watched anything about it. I just seen the comments Ridley Scott had made about stuff, but basically, I was like the difference I think between this one and Oppenheimer and the reason this one was so boring is because Oppenheimer was always building up to this like big thing of like the bomb being built.
Yeah. And
I don't think-
And the thing is, like, in general, you know the stories of both of these people, right?
Yeah.
Oppenheimer, you know, like his story. The thing he's known for is the atom bomb, and so you expect the story to be about the progress that he has to make through the like to make the atom bomb and whatever.
Yeah.
And like Napoleon, you know him because he's like a charismatic guy who is very crafty at like war tactics and stuff like that.
Yeah, but like the thing is, we don't know where his story ends.
Yeah.
Like I think, like I know of Napoleon, but I never knew, like there's not this like central goal that he was going to. I guess his goal was to like spread Frenchness or whatever it was across like Europe.
The revolution, like
The
the idea of
revolution, yeah.
revolution. Like he wanted to take down the monarchies on all these countries.
Exactly right, but like it felt like there was not this singular goal, and like they tried to represent. You know what I also
That was like the goal of his life, but like
Yeah.
it wasn't portrayed
it was. I think
well.
Yeah, I think all the like in Oppenheimer, all the conversations they had in between felt like additional like information you need to have. Like it never felt like you were like missing out, being like, you know, like why are they discussing this? It always
Yeah.
felt like it contributed to this like single goal
Mhm.
of like building the atom bomb. And like even when it was built, it's like now how do we use it? And so like when they were sitting around, it was like interesting conversations like fuck when they were sitting in like the secretary office and being like, where do we drop it in Japan? Like
yeah.
that's a harrowing conversation to be a part of, like
Yeah.
or being like visually seeing it like on cinema, right?
Yeah.
But here they were just okay, first of all, I don't even think this was about Napoleon and his conquest. I honestly think it was a love story between Napoleon and his wife Josephine.
Yeah.
But like all their conversations
Were
they
very
had
awkward.
they were just also so stupid. Like they just didn't bring anything. Like they just felt like nothing.
Yeah.
Like he finds out he's cheating, he goes and he has this conversation and it's like, what is this conversation? Like it had no value to it. And
Like you cannot you were seeing the toxicity that they had,
yeah.
but like it kind of takes away from it. Like if you wanted to show the story that they had, then focus entirely on the
On
story
that,
on
right.
that. Like yeah, like you have these wars in the middle. Like fine, that's well and good, right? But then you have like all these like side fuckers who are coming in the middle, and like kind of ruining the potentially like the quote unquote love story that you have, right?
Yeah.
And if you are doing the love story, then the movie should end once she's dead. Once he finds
Yeah.
out that she's dead,
Finish
story
it.
is over,
Yeah.
right? Or you just be like, yeah, story is over, and then you say that like in the after credits, like
Yeah, he
because it's
went
like
on.
he's like he went on to do this.
Yeah. And if it's about the war, just focus on the war. But
Focus
like you have
on the
these
war.
two sub stories, both of them, like not it wasn't even like one was really good and one was like and then you could like manage it.
They were both like so yeah.
And you were like, fuck, I don't like I was like, this is so boring. But like you moved to the other one and I was like, this is also so boring, so you just had a boring
No,
movie.
okay,
in the
like
end.
I will be like all that shit aside, like the war, the times when he's going to war and the scenes where like they're showing the fighting and that's going on, that is all so well done, right? But the thing is, you'd have no context about what the fuck is happening because he's known for his war tactics, right? But you never know what his war tactics are because there's never like a war room meeting that when they come from here we're gonna do this and like that and like that way you get more you appreciate him and you appreciate his mind and you appreciate how like he looks at war and all that, like. But here it's like he's just doing everything for Josephine, like whatever, like he's just doing whatever comes to his mind. And obviously that he's thought about these tactics and everything, but you just because you don't see it, you don't get to appreciate that, okay, this guy's a smart guy, right? The other problem I have with this movie, and this is like 100% like the director's fault. is 100% Ridley Scott's fault, like I feel,
Mm-hmm.
is like he did not give a shit about the accuracy.
Yeah.
And like, you don't want to give a shit about the accuracy, that's fine. Like, you don't want to make Napoleon a short dude who's speaking in a French accent, whatever, that's fine. But like, if you're making it a love story between him and Josephine, the entire reason that Josephine could not give a child was because she's old. She's, in real life, she was older than him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why by the time he was trying to make a kid with her, she had already gone through menopause or whatever. So she couldn't give a kid to him. But we don't know that because motherfucking, like, what's her name? Like, what was the actress's name?
Vanessa Kirby.
Vanessa Kirby is like so much younger than Joaquin Phoenix. Like, she even looks that much younger. So it's like, bro, this guy is like making love to like a fucking 20, 25, 30-year-old, and like there's no kid coming out. There's no explanation for that. Meanwhile, he's going to an 18-year-old and like it's fine. But in reality, it's because she was much older than him.
Yeah.
So like, if you were trying to portray their love story, then portray it like accurately, in a sense that like she was
give
older.
us context at least.
Yeah, give us context that she was older, and that's why she couldn't give birth. Like, we can connect the dots and be like, okay, she was older, that's why she couldn't give birth.
Yeah, like I honestly thought she couldn't give birth just because there was an issue and like they couldn't diagnose it, like, right?
Yeah, but no, it's because she was older. But you can't tell it because
She's
Vanessa
younger.
Kirby is younger.
You know, and like, okay, this is something I thought about during the movie. It's like, who is this for? Like, I feel like as a period piece, it doesn't
It
even
doesn't make
work.
sense because
It's
so
not accurate.
inaccurate,
Yeah.
yeah.
And like the thing is, there you can't even tell who's British and who's French and who's Russian because they all just speak in a British accent. Like at the start, spoilers. Also, don't go watch this movie.
so we don't give a fuck about spoiling.
Yeah. So like at the start, a kid comes, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, my father swore." And I was like, "Is this kid British or French? Like, who are they killing?" Like he said, like my dad was in prison or he died or something.
Yeah.
Like I don't know who.
Like
anyone-
Vanessa Kirby's.
Yeah, and I was like,
son. Yeah.
yeah, and I was like, who is any of this?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
who are they French? Are they British? Like even when they were fighting, I was like,
Who
who
the
is
fuck
who?
are they fighting? Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, ugh, it was so. And you know what the worst thing was? This also movie didn't have a soundtrack. Like, did you
It didn't
notice
have
that?
I don't know. I didn't realize
It doesn't have a soundtrack.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't have a soundtrack. And I think I rewatched Oppenheimer after we watched Napoleon.
Yeah.
And I think so many conversations hit harder just because of like the
Dude, the
soundtrack.
soundtrack is so good.
It's so
In
good.
Oppenheimer, it's so
Like
good.
the final, like I rewatched the final scene so many times when he's being interrogated and he's being asked like when his moral qualms came, and like that soundtrack hits so hard because you
Yeah.
could feel like the
pressure and
the
you know,
weight
there's-
of it.
Yeah, because like I'm pretty sure in the movie like there's a part where it just tunes out.
Yeah, and like there are also drums and stuff like playing while he's like being like questioned, and you can feel like the intensity of the drums and the intensity of the question, and he's like being faced with all of it, and it cultivates to this tension that you feel
Yeah.
where you're like you know, and he's struggling, and like that was so good. But here it was just nothing. Like they were fighting, and like oh my god, it was just so much of nothing. I don't know who it was for. Like it's obviously not for like historical like people who love like
It's
history
not-
pieces,
it's not
right?
about
It's not that because they're not
Yes.
accurate. It's not for like people who
Normal
like
movie enjoyers.
yeah, normal
Because
movie
there's
enjoyers.
nothing like fun about the movie. It's just like shit's happening, and like it's just happening for some reason.
Yeah. Maybe it's for older people. I don't know.
But like, how do you? I don't know, man. Like this, like it was so bad. Like
So bad.
my god.
I think yeah.
And you know what's the worst part? It's like after all these years, like we've talked about it. We started this podcast 5 years ago, right? And I remember in the starting when we were actually like dedicated purely on like watching movies, and we're talking about movies and TV shows and everything. We were so like cynical. We were like, oh my god, the set design looked so fucking amazing. Like this shot was so good. That shot was so good. Like, you know, the characters, this, that, like character building. We were talking about all those aspects like a normal movie critic would do.
Mhm.
But now it's like, we just had fun, bro. Like,
Yeah, and like
there was some dumb shit, fine, but whatever. Like, but the dumb shit was fun.
But like
Get
I think
over
that's
it.
also sometimes what people like. I think that's kind of what sometimes people approach movies as. Like they're not going for character building. It's just like shit was fun. Shit, we enjoyed it. But like this one, there's nothing to enjoy.
I don't think so, dude. I don't think so. I think like here's my opinion, right? Like I've watched a lot of like people critique movies on YouTube and stuff like that, and I've seen people critique like the Marvels, which we did the last episode, right? And everybody shit on it. Fine, whatever. And we went in there and we had fun.
Right.
And we said it was actually a fun movie. We had a good time, and like it wasn't like it was dumb fun. Like it
Yeah, it
wasn't
was
like
fun,
the Fast
fun.
X. Like it wasn't like Fast X fun. It was like actually like a solid movie. Like
Yeah.
there was some good scenes. Obviously here and there were some bad scenes, but like almost every movie has that. Whatever. But then you have people who are like, oh my god, like this movie was so fucking boring. The villain was so like one dimensional. Like they were just like doing shit for the sake of doing shit, and I'm like, what? Like, did we watch the same movie? And then again, obviously, I've seen like people's commentary on Napoleon as well, and sure, the consensus is like overall it's kind of garbage.
Yeah.
But I've also seen reviewers who are like touting it as like, oh my god, this was like one of the best movies that I've ever seen. It's like definitely movie of the year contender, and I'm like, bro, like,
But you see,
what?
okay, this is why.
Like what time did we go? We went in the middle of the day, right?
No, we went at night.
Oh, we went at night.
The
Oh yeah,
time-
we went
oh my
at,
God,
like,
yeah.
we went at 9 o'clock,
That
and
was
like,
the worst time to go.
and I was so sleepy, dude.
Yeah.
Like I was so sleepy that I
I-
just could not focus on that movie.
You know what?
And
I
that
think
movie had made me sleep.
I think I would have fallen asleep if it wasn't for like the occasional where like there would be like the war scenes and the shouting and like the cannons, and I would like be like jolted up. But
Yeah.
like I would have fallen. Like I think if we had gone to the VIP, and like
Yeah, with the big the
with
recliner
the
seats.
recliner seats, I would be gone. Like I think we went into like the worst cinema in
in Sarit Center.
Sarit
Yeah.
Center, and so like it was not the most comfortable experience. But I think if we were in a more comfortable setting, I would be asleep.
Knocked out.
I would have fallen asleep. 40 minutes into that film, I would have been asleep.
That first hour was so brutal. Because it was like the first hour was like no war. There was
Yeah.
no fighting. There was only that the coastal town
Yeah.
thing, and that was like 5 minutes, bro. Like they blew up a wall, they climbed up the wall, they fought for like 5 minutes, and that was it.
Even there, we like knew he was trying to target like the port, but like we didn't know any of his tactics or anything. They just went, and then
he just roamed around in his horse,
and then
and then the whole thing, the attack
Yeah.
happened, and you're just like,
yeah. But you see, okay, this is why sometimes I don't like. This is why I don't watch movie critiques anymore, like. Because like I think everyone just has an agenda. Like IGN gave this like a very good rating, and like sometimes I'll watch it just to see what it is. But like so I just let people like I'll go and I'll decide for myself.
Yeah.
Because everyone like on YouTube sometimes people are paid. Like you know when the embargo lifts, people will be like, "This is the greatest film of all time." DC Zack Snyder cut being everyone's like, "This is genius."
yeah,
Like chef's kiss. Mwah,
yeah.
it's so
And then
good.
we watched it, and we were like,
Bro, it's so and I think
we like 2 hours into that 4 hour movie, we're like, yeah, we're done.
And also, I think sometimes, like, the difference is people who critique movies on YouTube for a living approach it as a job. Like,
Yeah.
you have to critique a movie well because it also, like, shows your capabilities, so you get invited to more movies and do it. We watch
More
it as...
early screenings.
Yeah,
and
more
stuff
early
like that,
screenings, and it, like, builds your reputation because you have to, like, be able to notice these things.
Yeah.
We watch it as, like, people who just watch movies.
Yeah, as a pastime.
Yeah, as a pastime. Like people who enjoy going to movies and like the whole experience of it, that's what we review it as.
Yeah.
So sometimes we'll be like, Fast X was really fun because as a movie going experience, it was fun.
Yeah.
Napoleon was boring as shit because we wanted to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes just as simple as that.
Yeah, and it's like we can compare because like Fast X, we went fucking early in the morning on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Like 11 o'clock. It's not early in the morning, but you had to wake up at early to reach there.
Yeah, we gave our time.
Yeah, we gave our time to it, and we got there, and my god, it was so bad.
Yeah.
And like the same thing happened with Oppenheimer, where it's a 3 hour long movie, and we went there and we
And we went there at night as well.
We went there at night,
Oppenheimer,
yeah.
Oppenheimer, we went to watch at 9,
Yeah.
knowing we will finish at 12.
at 12 and 1.
Yeah, and like we actually like were like leaving Sarat at 1, so we knew what we're getting into, and like the whole time, like we left there, and I was like, "Holy shit, that was so worth it!"
Yeah.
Like for 3 hours, I was sitting there on the edge of my seat, being like, "Okay, what's next?
Yeah.
What's happening next?" Because every conversation was engaging. The soundtrack was good, and like, I think Napoleon has proved it to me. I cannot watch a movie without a soundtrack. Like music is so important to
Yeah.
me, and like
I didn't even notice it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
I noticed it so much because I was like, man, like this would have been so cool if that had like a soundtrack like booming to like the war and everything, and I was like, this is just nothing. Like I just hear people yelling
yeah.
and cannons going off, and so I was like, it could have set like the tone for so many conversations. But also some of the scenes were so weird. Like he's going under the table to like go have sex with his wife. like when he wants a
Yeah,
kid,
yeah, yeah.
and like just random weird discussions, just so much of nothing, like so much you could
So
cut
much of
out. And I was
nothing,
like, I don't, like, the thing is, I know it's not historically accurate, so I don't even know if this is needed or not, like
Yeah.
if this happened or not.
Yeah.
And if it didn't or it didn't, make it more interesting. If you're going to put it like shit, like
If you're gonna put made up shit,
Shit.
like make it more interesting.
make it more
yeah.
interesting. Don't make up the shit that he goes under the table to have sex with his wife under that, like pull her under and have
Yeah,
sex
yeah.
with her, or like, you know, like in the middle of a conversation, or like, I don't know if you married an 18-year-old, but also that scene was so weird.
That was so weird. So he like again. So if there was, if there is supposed to be a love scene, right? If it's supposed to be a love story or whatever, right? He marries, the daughter of the king of Austria or whatever, and she manages to give him a son, and he presents the son to like his ex-wife and everything, and after that they do not give a fuck about the son. Like,
Yeah. I just noticed that. I was like, yeah, the son never came back. So this is what I mean. And this is what I mean. It's like everything that he does revolves around Josephine.
yes.
And that's why I was like, even when he was at war, he was writing to Josephine and he'd be like, this is happening, this is happening. And like, this is what I was like, this is purely a love story between two people.
But there's no love between
There's
them.
no love between them, but it's like, love exists in different forms, right? So
Yeah.
like, they have this evolving form of love.
Yeah.
And like, these just two people who are connected and bound in this way, and like the journey of life going through it together.
Sure.
Fine. Because like even when he was at war, he was writing and he'd be like, I wish you were here, or you wish you were doing this. And it sounded like that, you know, like when you're in a love story and the guy goes off on a ship and
Yeah. And he's
My
writing-
love,
Yeah.
I
And
wish
it's
you were
like
there.
there's a monologue playing at the
Exactly,
background.
right?
Yeah.
so I was like, this is what it is. But then she dies, and then there's 30 more minutes, and I was like, what the fuck? Why the fuck is it this? Like, just cut to him, like, being there and like being like, okay, she's dead. Because like it's not historically accurate. I don't need to know how he got back into France. Like, it could just be as simple as like, oh,
No,
just
like that part was historically accurate.
Okay,
Like,
no, that's
where
fine.
He got on, he like commandeered another ship and he came. Into
okay, yeah, but that's fine. But all it could have been was him being in that thing and being like, I was granted permission because Josephine died. Like, everyone knows Josephine was like his first queen and everything, so he could have been pardoned so he could come and just see her.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to give me like this whole speech where he like for 5 minutes commandeers a ship, then he's walking for like 3 minutes, and then he's
giving
like
another speech.
and then he like takes over this thing, and then he like finally like then rides to go see Josephine. I was like, why? Just cut so much of this garbage movie out, man. It could have been an hour and 30. And if it was an hour and 30, I would not be as critical. But the fact that we had to sit there for 2.5 hours, and like I knew it was 2.5 hours, I was like, holy shit, this is the worst.
Yeah. Okay. So I think to sum it up,
Don't watch it.
don't watch it. And the thing is, we're saying this we're saying this through a lens that we paid like half price for the ticket and we still feel robbed.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even worth that. Like, I have told people, and he has told people, like, even if you're getting to watch this movie for free,
If you're
Don't do
getting
it.
paid to do it.
yeah, even if you're getting paid to do it, like,
Okay.
just don't. I mean, I am.
If you're getting paid at home to do it, fine.
Yeah.
Like, but if you're getting paid to the cinema, consider it.
Yeah, because you're going to go there and waste your time, and if your time is actually money, then
Yeah. Like, if you think,
all I'd say.
like, if you're getting paid 1,000 shillings and you're like, 2.5 hours, I could make more than 1,000 shillings in some way or form or another. maybe.
Then don't go. Yeah, then don't
Yeah.
go. Because it's definitely 2 out of 10 for me. Like, the only thing that saved it from getting a 0 was like the war scenes.
The thing is, I don't care about the war scenes. I would never watch this.
No, I mean I wouldn't either. Like, I don't think personally I've ever given a movie a 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
And there have been some really horrible fucking things that are like. We watched Thor: Love and
I
Thunder.
was
watched
literally thinking of that
Thor:
exact
Love and
example.
Thunder in a cinema, and that had its moments more than this movie. Like, that
Yeah.
one, like, I actually managed to, like, fight through and watch the entire thing. And there were some really good, like, the scenes with gore and whatever, like, those are really good.
But you see, like, I feel like also Thor, like, the reason we also gave it a shot is because, like, it's connected to this Marvel universe.
Yeah,
so we're
yeah,
just invested and attached to these characters. So we're like, it's shitty, but we're, like, pushing through it and we'll watch it. But this was, like, a standalone film that we went to watch that just sucked.
Yeah, it did.
And I think that's, like, something that, like, the more and more movies, like, the fact that we're moving away from, like, this whole superhero, like, this year all the big movies are not superhero themed,
Yeah.
right? So like now that we're moving away, we are reviewing more movies that are not tied to a universe or don't have like a backstory. And I think that's something like different that we'll explore in our
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
It's just standalone movies and like even Fast X. Like the reason we like also went to watch it is because it's tied to like this whole
Yeah.
universe, right? And we're like, it's going to be a second movie. There's a whole family.
Yeah.
It's also for shits and giggles, and
Yeah.
they keep making it more ridiculous. So there's a whole backstory.
You want to see how
far they can
how
go.
far they can take
and
this.
and you know that they know as well, so they're trying to up it, and you're
Yeah.
like, fine, they probably upped it. Let's go see what
Let's go.
go. So there's all these things that carry us to it and like make us sit through it. But now we're experiencing more standalone films like that are blockbusters. Or
Yeah,
like
Oppenheimer,
big-
Barbie.
And
I don't know which
so
other ones.
yeah,
There was some-
and so
there was
like
some
with the
other
end
ones,
of this superhero movie, we probably will have more 2 out of 10s where we'll be like, fuck, like as a movie with no connection, and the fact that we have like
But I personally I don't think so, because like this is what I'm saying. We've seen some standalone films, like not all.
no.
Yeah, we've seen the ones that we feel like were worth watching. Yeah, like we were sitting in the cinema, and that movie for the trailer for the Fall Guy came, and we were invested because that shit looked fun as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
The one with the stunt double. Who was it? Ryan
Ryan
Gosling.
Gosling.
Yeah, and I was like, bro, I'm in.
Yeah, but like that's what I mean. It's like I'm not saying like I'm just saying that we'll have more 2 out of 10s because there'll be more movies that we have no attachment to.
Sure.
Like more movies that are just a single movie that we're just watching it and there's no like emotion towards it like that we've had with other like movies. Most of the movies we watched,
Yeah.
there's some form of attachment or like basis that we were going in
Yeah.
with, right?
Why we like these.
Yeah, like
characters.
even Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, like we watched the first one, he loved it, and like
Yeah.
this is just Napoleon.
Yeah.
Barbie was just like
Barbie.
Oppenheimer was just Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
So we'll probably have more 2 out of 10s the more movies we keep
Yeah.
watching.
Let's hope we don't.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that's it for the end of this
Yeah.
episode. I don't know when we'll have the end of the year review.
Well, we can have it next week. No, we're not.
Sure. I guess we're kind of free.
Yeah, especially
Because
after
of
this week,
holidays. Yeah.
the following week before you leave. When is the 20th?
It's in 2 weeks.
What day is it? Like, do you know what day it is?
Today's Saturday. 20th should be 6, so 3 days ago. Wednesday.
Okay, so we can do it on a Monday or a Tuesday because like I wouldn't have work or anything, right?
Yeah.
So.
Sounds good. Okay. So yeah, be on the lookout for that.
You know
Thank
what?
you
I'm
for-
gonna design that. I'm gonna come up with like a list and then we'll discuss best
Sure.
Each
Sure.
category.
Yeah. 20th is a Wednesday.
All right, I'll put in the work for it. I'll have like best movie, best song, best album, whatever, and we'll like go through each one.
Okay,
Right.
done. And I mean, we can just keep it. We can keep it open, like in terms of not only just pop culture, but like just best fucking shits and giggles.
Yeah, no. I'll do the work. Don't worry, and I'll send it to you before as well, so you can prepare and have like thoughts. So you're not
Alright,
like,
cool.
what was the best shits and giggles moment, and then like,
Yeah,
okay.
wasting time there.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Thank you for watching. Come back in 2 weeks. We'll see you there.
All right.
Goodbye.
Have a good day.
God damn.